Bengals lose to the Jets. Unfortunately, we'll talk about this coming up next on the Cincinnati podcast.
Coming up.
On the Cincinnati podcast.
Hello, world. Cincinnati. You guys are the Yoshi creators, bro.
It's a new beginning. You know what that means, right?
But I know this. The whole NFL is scared of the Bengals.
Welcome to the Cincinnati podcast. I'm Ace. He's Zim. Zim, how you doing today, bro?
Not as good as I normally am. Tough loss. I am happy to be here though. Talking ball. We should start doing stuff right after and then do like a show like a day or something after that, just so people could see how radical like the difference is, I guess, once the smoke kind of clears a little bit. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Like yesterday, I was a little down bad, and then the Steelers lost. So then it just put me back in the same spot I was before. Like defense sucks, and I got a chance.
Yeah, I mean, for me, bro, it was, you know how I felt after the game. Gave my thoughts after the game on Bleacher Report. That I'm still in shock that the Bengals blew the lead that they did, being, completely in control of the game, it seemed like. And then it was that they weren't. And everything just kind of started spiraling. And it was crazy because this was a situation where I just knew that the Bengals had this sewed up. Not saying that I don't remember any collapses that they had before, but it just felt like, all right, perfect. Things are going the way that it should. The only thing I was really worried about, like you said at the time, going into the fourth quarter, like midway through the fourth quarter, was, damn, Chicago's about to let Baltimore beat them with Snoop Huntley. We're not going to be able to get that stranglehold on the division that we wanted to with gaining the steam. That was my only worry at that point. And then 23 points later in the fourth quarter, I'm sitting there stunned at the end of the game, wondering what the hell just happened from that standpoint. And to me, that's what made it frustrating for me, because I kind of talked to you about this after the game, and I was like, man, that was worse than the Vikings to me, because in the Vikings game, there was no shot at all. Like, the game was over after halftime. Like, this was a game where we were leading and had it sewed up,
right,
taking care of business, and then the collapse happens at the end, and now you give the Jets a meaningless win on their season. But to me, it was a damaging blow just because it was an opportunity where I just never saw a situation where we weren't 4-4 after this game. And I was like, man, this is the perfect situation to kind of happen. We got the win against the Steelers, which was a must win. I almost kind of felt like this was a little bit of a must win just because of the remaining schedule. But I just was in shock, bro. I was frustrated, and I was just like, man, I was completely wrong about the defense. Like, I'm not a person that makes a take and is like running for it or like avoiding saying what it is that I said. I said coming into this season that people were sleeping on the defense. I said that people, the defense was better than it really was. And now I'm looking at it like, from the metrics that I'm seeing people put out there, it looks like they're worse than last year.
It's terrible.
It's worse than last year.
It's the worst tackling team I think I've ever seen in my life. And to me, all right, so I do have a confession to make, and Ace knows this. So me and everybody knows we say this on the show sometimes. Me and Ace both coach AAU basketball. Mm-hmm. This was the first Bengals game in my entire existence on planet Earth that I actually missed. The only other one is the one, that Lions game when I got married, right? Mm-hmm. But I did see the first half, right? But I'm gonna just tell you, like, I think I'm only sharing this because I want to just give people like a little bit of a different perspective. I was watching the game. Trey Hendrickson was there, right? I noticed how they ran plays, and you're probably not. I had to rewatch the fourth quarter, but in the third quarter. But the way that they were running plays and everything that was happening, they were getting it. But the defense is what I expected in the first half. Like, it's not a good defense. Like some of the stuff I was complaining about on the last show when I was like, nah, it's like, no, they can't tackle it. You know, like all these things were happening. But when I was watching it, this is the crazy part. Barrett Carrier had just made the fourth quarter stop. Like people don't even remember all the stuff that I'm probably about to say. Fourth quarter stop. They were actually attacking the football. They were doing all these great things. But the one thing that they were doing was allowing Justin Fields to kind of move around whenever he wanted. He would get into third and shorts, which I didn't like. Then they gave up. And this is when I knew something was funny. The Jordan Battle fourth down blitz, and he could have hit Fields. And Fields, I thought Fields was just throwing it away. I was like, yeah, we got him. Like, boom. I'm like, hold up, that ball is still going to the end zone. I literally thought he was throwing it away because Battle was like in his face. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was crazy. And but the thing was, immediately I had turned to Uzi and I was like, that's not good. Like, why are they giving up that? But then I was still watching them like, okay, we getting them off the field. Okay, we're limiting them to field goals. That's my expectation for the defense. Anybody thinking more than that, I don't know what y'all like. That's the part that I don't agree. Like, I know that they suck, and I know that they can't tackle, and I know that they're young, and I know that these are growing pains of having a young team. So that's the one part that I'm like, I just have a different perspective on what I expect from the defense. I expect the offense to be the best offense in the NFL with Joe Burrow. With Joe Flacco, maybe not. Just a really good offense, right? And from what I saw, they were doing that. I didn't even see how they got the 31-16. But if you would have told me 31-16, you could complain all you want and be like, bro, they're so bad. They're so terrible. I get it, but if you're expecting them to be better than giving up 16 points through three quarters, then we are not looking at the same team. Now, the breakdown, I had to go watch it today. It seems so easy to fix. But when you watch it in its totality, that's when you sit there and say, this is awful. But I guess from the point that I saw, I didn't see that. So I'm like, bro. So then I saw the end. And remember, I was like, bro, Yoshi dropped the first down. Like, and everybody was like, what are you talking about? The defense sold. I'm like, but we had a chance to win. Like, you know, and I literally was on a show and I said, bro, I don't care. I do not care how. Remember at the end of after we beat the Steelers, I said, bro, I don't care if it's about 1 point. I don't care. Yeah. Because the one thing I will say is, do you think the Jets, after giving up 38 points, do you think any of their fans are talking about how bad their defense is?
No, I mean, they were 0-7, so they probably were just happy to get the dub. All
right, okay. Steelers beat the Jets week 1. They give up 32 points or whatever it is. Do you think any Steelers got online and said, woo, I can't believe we won like that. That was so nasty. I don't want that win. Take it back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's how I look at football. Like, some weeks it's going to look crazy. I feel like a lot of teams aren't even rounding into their full form. So, like, by the time we get to, like, week 11, 12, that's your team for real. And I think we saw that last year when we got to the end of the season last year with Burrow. I'm like, bro, this team is humming. Defense looking a little bit better, but they're still not good. You know what I mean? Like, and so I understand the growing pains of it. I just was really disappointed that they sold like that, and watching it, the replay and not watching it live is very different, but just a complete meltdown. And it reminded me of basketball a little bit because there's just so much momentum that just shifted. The momentum was so important in that game. So by the time you got to the Breece Hall touchdown, it just looked so lifeless. But go watch the first quarter. Barrett Carter's flying around like, you know, tips a pass, like DJ Turner, they're glazing DJ Turner. It seems so long ago, but that momentum shifted. All that third down, Jets like going down the field and stuff. It just finally like the dam just broke, and they were like, "Nah, we're coming through." And, I get Bengals offense credit for responding, but those last two possessions they had too, that they bother me a lot too, because I'm like, even if the score is 17-10, this is the thing that I don't think changes, is you go 3-0 after you're going 10 yards of carry. And people are going to be like, bro, you're a complete psychopath talking about the offense. I get it. We're all talking about the defense all day, every day. Every tweet is going to be about the defense. There are a million tweets about the defense. But if the score is 17-10, this is just how I look at life. If that score is 17-14 or 17, whatever, you're running 10 yards a clip. There's no way you could go 3-and-out and just get a ball right back for a chance for them to cook you. Then you get the ball back, and the guy that you're paying $30 million is wide open on 2 of the pass attempts. And literally, all you had to do is just throw it to T. Higgins on both of them. The one joint, he's single covered. The other one, he's wide open. And I get it. You're like, well, if the defense did set him up, well, we're here. And to me, you have to close it out. And that was my problem with last year. It was like, I identified that the defense is bad. So I got to just talk about the defense all day. I don't know. That is very frustrating. They're awful. The defense is awful. But
yeah, for me, it was just how they were giving it up, bro. Like the effort. There's that one play with Breece Hall on the sideline. Like that reminded me of the William Jackson play against the Steelers. Like no effort, wrong angles. And it just was like the one thing that you did say, the offense only scored 7 in the fourth quarter. So there was an issue from an offensive standpoint. It was crazy because
we're not blaming the offense. Before the comment section says, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're talking about the offense." We're not blaming the offense. I get it.
I was praising the offense, the offensive line, and it was like the fourth quarter. That's when they allowed the sack. That's when they had the 3-and-out. That's when they tried the run play that didn't work, even though they were running for 10 yards per carry. I just thought it was a situation of where when the Bengals kind of had that 14-point lead, that it was just going to go, even if they were giving it up, I was like, it's going to go 14-7, 14-7. And then next thing I know, they got the ball and they're about to take the lead because they got the 2-point conversion. And I'm like, the defense was just, you got to think about that. That's off of that. They still gave up 39 points. And there was a drive where they actually they went for it and didn't get it. So it was like, I don't know, man. It just was, the only thing I can describe it as was embarrassing because it's like, this is the Jets. Like if they won the game, like you said, I wouldn't have cared. I would have still been upset with the defense. I would have still been like, this is a little crazy, but as bad as the defense has been, I don't think it ever looked that bad in a game to the point where I'm like, this is not sustainable. Like you're giving this up to the Jets. Like the Jets have struggled to score. Like they just benched their quarterback last week, and this guy is in here, and you got him out here 65% completions with no Garrett Wilson. I can't name any of y'all. Like Alan Lazard is your number one. Like, bro, what is going on? Like that y'all are getting cooked by a Jets team that is the worst offense in football. It's the worst team in football, and they just had no answer for them. And I'm like, I get it. Some people were talking about, oh, they don't know if they were preparing for Tyrod or Justin Fields. It doesn't matter, bro.
That didn't matter.
There's no excuse to just give it up the way that they did. And then the thing that scared me too was like while they're driving, Joe Flacco is hurt and leaves the game. And I'm like, Jake Browning is going to have to, like, it was just like, bro, how did the events change so fast to where I felt comfortable and controlled to
they folded
3-and-out. Joe Flacco's out. He's going to the locker room. This team is driving. And it's like, there's no like sense of urgency. And
it's the ultimate. It's the ultimate choke job, bro.
At some points, I'm listening to the game because my stream was a little behind, so I'm listening to it. And even from what I'm hearing from the broadcast, there's no sense of urgency from them. It's like I'm hearing them talk about good job, and it's like, yeah, he stopped them at the 1-yard line. I'm like, that's not a good job. That means that they're getting ready to score. Like, Like, what are we? I don't know, bro. It was very bizarre for me. I can't speak to everybody else's experience, but it was just like you knew the other shoe was about to drop. And I felt like with Flacco, I was like, well, we still got a chance because Flacco can get the ball back. We get his
Well,
money
no
back.
question, no question. They don't like that. I think that's the part that's like tripping me out even more. And I know that sounds crazy to everybody, but you didn't think that Flacco was just gonna go down there and we're gonna walk it off with McPherson?
I thought that Flacco was gonna be able to save them at the end, and then like the drop pass, bro.
Yes. But you know the thing that makes me so mad about that drive is that for the first time in a long time, this is the crazy thing about football, and this is the ultimate team sport. For the first time in a long time, we actually do have like the month of October, we're the number one most efficient run team in the NFL. Does everybody know that, right? I know somebody's gonna be like, well, so why are you giving us positivity? I'm sorry. It's just who I am. But to watch them fold in those in that moment and go 3 and out, and you're running for 10 yards a clip, like Samaje had 100 on like 10 carries, and then like go 3 and out the way that they did, and then you get the ball back. I'm thinking like, bro, man, we about to walk these boys out. Like they got a rookie on one side, they could double team Jamar all they want. Flacco gonna go to T. I was telling my son, I'm like, bro, we about to go to T right here. Yoshi, like I'm gonna tell you the thing that makes me so mad about that drive. I lost my shirt. We blocked so well in all the stuff I saw in the first half, and then I rewatched the third quarter. Like, bro, the offensive line is actually pretty good. I'm not gonna say the greatest, but they're pretty good, right? To get to the final drive, and he has to just chuck it on second down because the pressure is too much. I was like, oh no. It reminded me of when we were at the bowl and Tyler Boyd dropped that pass. And I looked at you and I said, oh no. It was like the reality of like, oh no, this is too close for comfort. And then on third down, I'm like, oh, he got him. Drop. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, that's fourth down.
Yeah, that's third down as he throws it away. He throws it away because of pressure.
Okay,
he doesn't want to take. He doesn't want to.
Yeah, they run on second down and only get like half a yard.
Yeah,
with that front, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me, because I wasn't even mad at the run joint. I said, bro, I even said, man, I would call like maybe even a draw right here because they're going to play the pass because we need like 30 yards, but we're running so good. Just go get like 10 right quick. Like the clock isn't even an issue. It's like a minute and 20 left. So I'm like, bro, like, boom, to get stopped right there. I was like, oh no. And then the drop, like, it's just a complete meltdown all the way. And I thought the momentum that the defense gave them and the offense responded every single time. But the defense just giving it up like that, like so crazy that, you know, like, and I want to read this super chat because it's very similar to what I was thinking. Michael Roth says, I went outside with my kids when the Bengals were up 10, thought it was wrapped like presents under the Christmas tree, walked back in as the game went final and literally made the scream face. Happy Halloween, my guys. I literally saw the score. So mind you, I'm coaching a basketball game. I'm looking at my phone like after quarters, but I'm still like trying to talk to my team, which is kind of like not me, right? I'm usually so locked in. But when I saw like 38-24 and it was like 5 minutes left, I'm like, it's wraps. Put the phone in my pocket. Game ends. I mean, the basketball game ends. I go look at my phone and I see 38-32. They got the ball on the Bengals 3 or something or 4, and I'm like, oh no. So I leave out the game. I couldn't believe it. Because before the game started, I was like, oh, we got this. It's over. I ran out in the hallway and then pulled up the game on my phone, watched the last drive. And so, like, that's what I saw initially. So everybody on Twitter and stuff was like, why are you talking about it? I'm like, bro, this is just what I don't even know how we got to this point. I'm just looking at this last drive. Like, I'm thinking Flacco about to just go do it. Like, I'm so confident in the offense that it might be delusional for people. But they're the two best wide receivers in the world. 2 targets to a guy getting $30 million. And one of the targets went for a 50-yard bomb.
Touchdown.
Like what? I just don't know how the game. To me, it goes hand in hand with how bad the defense is. It's like I just can't believe they folded like that. Like that has to be one of the biggest choke jobs in Bengals history, for sure.
Yeah, and I feel
like I don't. Do you remember a game that we choked that crazy? Pause. Like that.
Not like I don't know, bro. Like there's.
Y'all sound off in the comments.
I feel like with the Zach Taylor era, we got a lot of those, bro. We got like I don't know, like not necessarily the same exact thing, but it's like, how do we lose that game? Another super chat here from Ben Riley. The fact that we should have or would have needed to score around 50 points to secure that game is insulting.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, against a team like that. Like what the crazy part to me was. And they kind of said this in the broadcast, against a team like that, usually when you get a lead, they tend to quit because it's like their morale is already bad. Like they're 0-7. Here we go again. And somehow they just were able to stick around, bro. I don't understand it. Another one here from Michael Rolfe. Appreciate you, Michael. If you are resigning 3 players from the defense, who are the 3 players we signed to a second contract?
DJ Turner. Oh, my bad.
This defense fell off a shelf like grandma's vase and exploded the minute Bates left, which brings the next. So who are your 3?
DJ Turner, as bad as Dax Hill has been, Dax Hill, and third person is Trey Hendrickson. I don't trust, like anybody's talking about trading Trey for picks. Even if the Bengals don't win another game, I don't feel confident in trading him for picks because they've used all these picks on defense and they've given us no one.
Nothing.
No one.
They still haven't replaced Jesse Bates. Like it's just gonna be that, like,
bro.
That's what I always say. Like, bro, like for ages, like think about it just from a draft standpoint. So take free agency out of it. Because I think that they are successful in free agency, but the reason that free agency can't be a factor now in that spending capacity is you invested all of this money in Joe Burrow and all of these guys. Yes, you could still spend, but your resources are limited. This isn't going to be like a DJ Reader year where you could sign DJ Reader, Mike Hilton, all of those guys. My issue is on the defense. They haven't, but even if you just take defense out of it from a draft perspective, going all the way back to Andrew Whitworth, Kevin Zeitler, like they just now are possibly finding a Zeitler replacement through the draft. Now, think about how long that was 2016, bro.
And even excuse me, even the Mims one, that's a good pick, right?
Yeah.
But it took them a long time to even solve that up. I don't trust them in the draft unless it's like wide receiver. And then the one wide receiver that I think is super talented that can help them on kick returns, punt returns, or something is Jermaine Burton. They're not even going to play him. And then you got guys like Charlie Jones that are just like, what is he here for? Like, I don't get it. The thing I was going to say is like, this is what they got. I feel as though people classify me as a loudmouth, vigilante, crazy person. But anybody's been watching us for this long, you understand that I kind of take the information, I assess what's going on, and then I try to come back with the most rational take that I could come up with. If you're watching this on Twitter, please make sure you come on over to YouTube. If you're watching this on anything else, please make sure you come on over to YouTube, please, on Winston Pod. But I say that to say this. If they're being rational, and this is the thing, all that trading stuff we was talking about last show, a rational mind would say, no, you're not a buyer. You're 3-5 now. You're not, right? So people will be like, well, just give me this guy. Give me this guy. You don't, as a GM, you don't want to be, or organization, you don't want to be on the hook for guaranteed contracts and contracts coming up with a team that you don't know the direction of it, on a team that you might fire the coach, right? So you can't be a buyer anymore now at 3-5. That's why that game was so important. But the other part is this. they have to understand that the one thing, and people aren't going to like this either, I get it, is them being a homer, whatever you want to call it. And for the people that say I'm trying to get fan of the year, you think they're going to let my black ass get up there and be fan of the year? Never happening. So y'all can kill that. The thing that I was going to, like, I'm doing this from my heart and my soul, like, has nothing to do with nothing. I have no ties to the organization. This is my real life. The one thing I will say is that give them credit for Eli Apple. Give them credit for Cheeto Bear-Wouzier. Give them credit for DJ Reader. Give them credit for Trey Hendrickson. Give them credit for even going out on a limb and signing the show to rank as $24 million. Give them credit for Trey Waynes, even though it didn't work out. Give them credit for the guys, even Slayton, I thought was okay on Sunday, right? One thing that they do well is sign guys that they can kind of project the trajectory of them. And when they do that, they generally hit. So a rational mind would tell me that after the season, or even if it was the season, that's why I wish they would have won that game so bad. I would be in the market of trading picks. The Bengals need to go into the 2026 season with like 3-4 picks, because they're not, if they're being rational, like I'm trying to be, they need to come to the rational stance as a collective unit. We don't know how to draft defense. We just drafted 10 over, you know what I mean? Over the last, what's the stat that I was just looking at? Over the last 10 years, they've drafted first and second round talents. They got so many people that they drafted and they've hit on none. They're bad at that, but they're good in free agent, like finding those little pieces, those little, you know what I mean? Like,
the last good pick they had was Jesse Bates, bro. That's the last all-pro level. Before that, it was Geno and Geno Atkins. Like, when we're talking about drafting,
they gotta be real with themselves and trade those picks. Go send the second round. Now it's tough to say that though at 3 and 5. I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah.
Because now you don't know. If this thing spirals out of control, say you gave up a second round pick for Quentin Williams, right? With a expiring contract coming up soon.
I still would do it. You
still would do it as a fan, but as an organization, because we're fans that want to win. From a money standpoint, this is the part that fans don't want to have a conversation about. This is the Sheldon Rankins conversation. This is the Trey Waynes conversation. This is the Sam Hubbard conversation. This is the conversation that no fan, I've never seen a content creator, the ones that bash the Bengals all day, that are supposed to be Bengal fans or whatever, I've never seen them pose the other side of going all in, or the other side of throwing your chips in and paying money and guarantees the guys that potentially might not be on your roster. So as though from a fan standpoint, F them picks. Send them all. Give me Quentin Williams. Give me Max Crosby, everything like that. But potentially, say I was to fire the coach. Say I was to go move in a different direction. Say the next coordinator or whatever doesn't think that he could do anything with Quentin Williams. I think that would be an idiot, right? But you don't really know those things. So to make a move like that now at 3 and 5 just doesn't make sense to me, unless you come to agreement, like no matter what, this is what we're going to do as an organization. Quentin Williams, for example, is a guy that we're moving forward with, and whoever we hire, they're going to be attached to Quentin Williams too. And I don't think that's that's not likely. Like, that's not, there's no defensive coordinator in the world that's going to say, pick all my players. Like, nobody's signing up for that. And that's the dilemma I have with them being at 3 and 5. But I do think they don't need the draft. They don't need the draft defense. They're terrible. They're terrible.
Quentin Williams, I think, has 2 years and 3 years, including this year, left on his contract. I think if this were the Steelers, they would do it. Because I think about back when the Steelers traded for Minkah Fitzpatrick, their record at the time was not good. They were taking a huge risk, and they traded a first-round pick.
What have the Steelers done?
I mean, they don't give up on.
They haven't won a playoff game in 10 years.
But Minkah ended up being an All-Pro. Like, if the Bengals could have somebody like that, they don't have a face on this defense. They absolutely don't. They need somebody to be a face on this defense. And I don't think a players-only meeting and trusting the guys that are on this roster,
Not
I don't
happening.
think it's happening, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah,
they
that's not
gotta
gonna
go get that from somewhere else. Like, Baltimore, they were never this bad on defense. They were still bad, though. A lot of people forget how bad they were in terms of pass defense and stuff like that. And they went and traded and got a dude and Roquan Smith that transformed the defense. I'm not saying that Quentin Williams can be that, but how many years are we going to come saying the same thing? Because we'll be saying it next year, too. We need a pass rushing 3-tech. We've been saying that
absolutely
since Larry Ogunjobi left.
since Gino, for real, Larry,
Gino,
because even Larry was missing all them tackles. Remember, he would like
Larry,
get in the backfield.
Larry still had like the 8 sacks though. Larry
Yeah.
still was able to give you, and I felt like him combined with Trey, it was nasty. Like, we still don't have that.
Yeah.
And like you said, we haven't had a top tier one like that level since Gino. I don't know if Quentin Williams
city
could
is
beat
starving.
Gino, but we need
Don't you-
we need an
I
impact
said
there, bro.
I had tweets and I came on the show and said this before the season even started. The city of Cincinnati, like, shout out to my guy Means. He had a beautiful. I think you seen that photo shoot that he did with the Bearcats and everything. I'm just blown away by that collaboration. That's a black owned like that. That is a fight. That is one of them. But the one thing that my people that don't live in Cincy, and I'm showing my boys in DC, like, bro, look at this. It's fire and stuff like that. And then when I go to tailgates and then I see that crowd, and then I go, the one thing that collectively, all walks of life, all cultures, you're not gonna get this on no other pod, just Cincinnati, is that we all do look for the same things. And I know that we pride ourselves on wide receivers and stuff like that. The city is starving for a defensive talent, like on a Max Crosby like level. We would embrace that person, like a Quentin Williams. We would embrace the city, all walks of life. Everybody would embrace that guy. Like, I saw a post my boy G Will posted today. He was like, man, I want that mean perfect, like that. And you get a little mixed bag on it. Some people be like, I don't like him, he costs us the game. And I think it's malarkey. I think if we don't have perfect, we're not in.
We don't need the nice guys that were the team captains and honorary student. Nah,
right.
That's why the defense is so soft.
The defense is lacking all of and you're right about the Minka thing in this aspect. All these teams, even the team that we just played, the worst team in the NFL that we just lost to, they got a Sauce Gardner, you know what I'm saying, on one side. They got a Quentin up front. They got Jermaine Johnson. They got Quincy Williams coming back. Oh, that was his first game back.
Right.
When they had the other corner that I liked over there, like they had legit dudes. Even Cisco at safety, like they have legit dudes. We might be the only team in the NFL, and I think the opposition tells us like, oh, your defense is going to get 40 on us, and that's where me and you kind of pushing back on it like, nah, bro. Like, we didn't draft the first round Miles Murphy. We got, like, before the season started, of course. It was like the talent was there, but I think it's because we want that defensive, guy so bad to be so good, and it's been so long, bro. And that's why, like, if people talk about the defense all day, and I'm like, these dudes are not good to me. So it's hard for me to really, like, get on Twitter and just be like, man, the defense is bad. Oh, my God, look at it. Like I know that they were bad. I just thought that they would be average. You know what I mean? Like, my expectations levels are just very different. I think Barrett Carter in, like, a third line, like, say Logan Wilson never fell off. Barrett Carter would be the perfect guy to kind of come in and bring that energy in.
Just go some pushback. You wanted Jahad Campbell. I don't think Barrett Carter is Jahad Campbell. I don't.
Hell no, he's not Jahad Campbell. Hell no. See, I don't want to be that guy. But
Duke is going to give you the Barrett Carters. Now, shout out to Barrett Carter. This ain't got nothing to do with you, bro. But Duke Tobin is more likely to give you a Barrett Carter that you got to project and work with, and it's going to be a risk versus a Jahad Campbell that's a sure thing, that's a consensus guy, that everybody is saying this is the guy. He's right there. Take him, and you're like, nah. You know what? I can get Barrett Carter, and I can get the this night.
See, you're gonna piss. See, you trying to piss me off. See, I was trying to be cool. I was trying to be. I just saw like a picture of Tate Ratledge's mohawk. Like as you're saying that,
mullet,
the mullet. You're gonna piss me off because I don't want to be that guy. You know, to be like, bro, I told you like that, but bro, it was right there. And Jahad Campbell ain't the only one. Yeah. There are guys that were right there that literally there's
Will Johnson second round.
They might think that I'm a complete lunatic on Twitter the way that I do it, but the way that I post images and the way I cook people is so that all walks of life kind of see it. Everybody can't be on there like, well, you know, the spreadsheet says that we like. I get that guy, like you're cool too. I just can't do that. I have a different delivery. But the reason why, without making it super analytical, is because Jahad Campbell's of the world or other players that were around that same spot or that were in that same vault that is play as fans that we mock is because we're out, and it's not just me, all of you guys and girls that are watching the show right now, all of y'all have a mock where you pick the person or player, you picked a player that you said, I recognize I want this guy because he saw this, and this. And Jahad Campbell isn't just because I like him and I think he's cool. It's because I identified that this guy can rush the passer at opportune times. He's good in coverage and he's a good tackler. And he's all the things that would supersede at the time Logan Wilson. He would be after that. And in the long, but the one thing I identified is week one, he could play. That was my formula for draft is even if it's 10, 20 snaps, that dude got to play. And the way that they draft guys, they don't draft guys like that. They draft guys like they think that they're smarter than everybody. Oh, y'all passed on Shamar Stewart. He ain't had no sacks. Watch what we do. And then you get this smart ass. See that joint gonna piss me off, bro. Because it's gonna be some Bengal fan to be like, Shamar Stewart, he was right the whole time. No, he wasn't. This dude was talking crazy, talking about the Bengals don't win. Boy, you don't want to get a tackle. You don't want to get a sack. You look like a bum. And you coming in there, have never even played in the NFL, talking all this rah-rah cash money stuff, and you ain't doing nothing. You get, bro got put in a washing machine on a check down pass. Like, what? You're not for real, bro. And the Bengals do this where they pick these guys that are not ready right then at that moment to go in week one and go kill people. And the Ravens, I hate them to death. They pick guys that even if Mike Green is not going to be Trey Hendrickson ever, but they identify he is a pure pass rusher, and we can play him as early as week one. Maybe he gets like 15 snaps, but we can play him week one. And then we fill in you know what I'm saying? The Bengals just don't know how to do this, bro. And shout out to all the people that do good draft work and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure they got a whole bunch of people too. But I feel as though as fans, especially the guys and girls that watch college football, you know, you see these guys that have this all-around game that you're like, man, that's a guy that's plug and play. And the Bengals, their biggest problem on defense, and they don't have the same problem on offense, is like they pick all these outside of like Yoshi, I guess, right? But in some of the offensive linemen, their defense, they just keep on picking these projects. You know what I mean? Like Mims is a bit of a project a little bit too, but that's a guy that was the best available at the biggest need, and he satisfied so many different things. Whether he got injured or not or whatever, like I'm not mad at that pick, right? Even though I wanted Brock Bowers or something like that. But you know, that to me, they should learn from how they look at the offense and say that's how we got to go to the defense. Chase Brown, he could play right away. Will he be the lead back right away? Maybe not. But they try to project so far ahead that we think we
worrying about right now. And you're not a team that's projecting ahead. That's what That's what somebody like the Jets do, right? When you bringing in an Aaron Glenn and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna have to clean house and I'm looking for this roster 2-3 years down the road. That's what you do that with. You don't do that with Joe Burrow and a team that was just in the Super Bowl. You go after the players that you know are going to win you games now. You
Look
figure
at the
out all of
Rams.
that other stuff later.
Look at the Rams, bro. I'm not trying to cut off your point. Look at the Rams. How many people online, all these draft gurus, be like, I'm not trying to draft Braden Fisk, and I'm not trying to draft none of these older dudes. The Rams reinvented their defense in 2 years because they took all the dudes that were ready to go, ready to rock and roll off the break. All them dudes, go look at the draft.
You don't take him. If you don't take them, the other contenders, the Eagles, the Ravens, the Bills, they're gonna take them. They're gonna take him. You don't want Dalton Kincaid? All right, we're gonna take him. You don't want Will Johnson? We're gonna take him. You don't want Mike Green? We're gonna take him. You don't want whoever? We're gonna take him because we know that you need them. And I'm in the division with you, or I'm in the conference with you, and I know that when I see you, I'd rather have this player on my team than you have them. And it's just like the Bengals don't understand that concept. There are players that some of the teams in our division and in the AFC draft simply so we don't get them. And it's like they pass on them. And like you said, they're like, oh, haha, we're outsmart. You ain't outsmarting nobody, bro. You're not outsmarting anybody.
They're not. And they got to understand at this point that they are in dangerous territory. Dangerous territory. And when I say that, I'm talking about you got prime T. Higgins, prime Jamar Chase, prime Joe Burrow, right? Even though he's nursing the injury. And the end of the prime
ahead of schedule, it seems like, by the way. No boot.
You're in danger. Like those three guys right there alone are enough to change around a whole entire franchise. And we're now, we played the AFC Championship game in 2023, right? I always remind people that we've missed the playoffs 2 straight. And then they had a winning record in that. And people like, that's not good enough. I get it. You're removing a lot of context. I still think the Bengals have done more than a lot of these teams that people like glaze. That's not good enough though, right? But it is from a rational standpoint, not the fan that says, well, it's Joe Burrow. You got to win a Super Bowl. From a rational organizational standpoint, we're doing the best that we can. We didn't go all in. We didn't Von Miller ourselves. But we have a sustainable problem. But now they're in a dangerous spot because now these primes of these guys, they're getting a lot older fast. And the fact that we just like that now are in, October of 2025, about to be 2026. You're in dangerous. We're talking about now we're living in a time when we're going to look back and when we're old and gray and be like, we blew it. We blew it. You know what I mean? And that's
why we're here, because we're not going to let them do that, bro. Like this whole, they can't like, they got to do something different about the draft. They got to do something different about the front office. If people don't want to talk about it, I'm going to speak on it, bro. They need to speak on it. Whether that's moving on from Duke Tobin, whether that's adding new scouts, whether that's doing something about the draft has to change, because I'm going to just be real. They drafts have sucked, bro.
Right. But go ahead.
No, I'm like, when it comes to impact players on both sides of the ball, you compare everybody around the division, even the Browns. The Browns are getting better impact players in the draft than the Bengals, and that doesn't make sense. Like the Ravens are getting drafted, like the players that the Ravens are getting that are these all pros that they're extending, they're not coming from free agency. They're coming from the draft. Like,
I gotta give you a little pushback.
They Justin Matabuke,
Ojabo.
Who's the safety?
Malachi Starks?
No, not him. No, I'm talking about the all pro.
Yeah.
The all pro. They're drafting.
Kyle Hamilton.
And hey, bro, Nate Wiggins looks like he's gonna be something.
Wiggins is him.
Nate Wiggins looks like he's gonna be something. Like, you're right. Everybody's gonna have misses, but they have more hits than misses. Like the Bengals haven't had an all-pro defensive player. We've probably had 2 and maybe almost 2 decades. They've literally done that in like the last 5 years where they've drafted 2 all-pros on their team. Like for me, like I'm not settling for Duke Tobin coming back to the podium acting like he knows what he's doing when we've seen for the last umpteenth amount of time, anytime we have an issue, they're patchworking it. It doesn't work. They have to sign somebody in free agency. That may work or it may not. And then we're back to the same situation where we're just trying to fix all of these issues where a competent GM, if he was there and stood in, it would be done by now. And then you're not trading picks. Why? So you can draft another 6-rounder that you're going to throw into the fire that's going to drop the ball on third down instead of T. Higgins? Like, come on, bro. I can't look at somebody and be like, oh, that Mason Shrek pick was going to be something. Like, nah, bro. Like, we need to get up off of these picks and go and get real players. And we got to be more aggressive. Like, take the household names. Take the prospects. Forget your formula about the captain. Forget your formula about the personality test. Forget your formula about whatever. Your formula sucks, bro. Your formula only works when you're picking top 5, and that's a layup. Obviously, you should have drafted Joe Burrow. Obviously, you should have drafted Jamar Chase. I'm going to give you credit for T. Higgins because he shouldn't have been there in the second round. But at the end of the day, Zach, you listened to the goddamn IT guy that was telling you, hey, you should probably draft T. Higgins. That's how they drafted T. Higgins. The IT dude that was helping him during COVID said, hey, bro, yeah, you might want to get T. Higgins, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, that's embarrassing, bro. We watch these mock drafts. You could literally put up the consensus board, and it would have told you Jahad Campbell or anything. And then, like you said, bro, when it comes to Shamar Stewart was falling for a reason. They always act like they get these guys, and they're like, ha, Darquez Denard, here we go. Drake Kirkpatrick, here we go. Well, guess what? These other teams have scout teams.
They're passing them for a reason.
They're passing on these guys for a reason. And it's not that they're bad players. It's that they know for a first-round pick, you want an instant impact guy. And if these guys could have an impact 2 or 3 years, and it might be a high ceiling, that's cool, but they want that person now. And we're in a window now, and I'm not accepting them being like, yeah, let's roll out Duke Tobin. Let's do the same thing that we did in the draft last year because I'm not with it, bro. I'm not with it. And if you're going to do the same thing that you did, shoot them picks off, bro. Shoot them picks off and go get me somebody. Shoot me picks off and go get me somebody
I know that's going to sound – if you would have told me that like a year ago, I'd have said that's not what teams do. The NFL is kind of changing. I don't know if y'all saw like Roger McCreary getting traded earlier, and I don't know if this is a LeBron thing or something like that. But if you notice, more NFL players are demanding that they get released, get traded. You're seeing more player for trade stuff. I think the times are kind of changing a little bit. And to me, even the Bengals making the move for Flacco, that's not a normal trade. I know a lot of people downplay that. That's not a normal thing. 2 things have to happen, and I want to ask you, what do you think? And I also, please don't. We got to get to the Super.
We got to get through these chats, yeah.
We got to get to the Super Chat, but I just got to say this before I figure it. 2 things going to have to happen. They're going to have to go to a room and say, we don't draft well. And it got to be, everybody's talking about accountability. They need to say, we just don't draft defense well. None of our players have hit at this point. And from that conversation, they will say, okay, well, if Miles Murphy would have hit, what do you think his market value is, right? And then, or if Dax Hill, we picked up his 5th-year option, so we got him for next year. What is his market value, right? And from that conversation, they should immediately get on the phone and go find players that they would have had to pay. See, they've been getting away from this all this time. We'd be like, bro, we got cap space. The reason why they have cap space is because they don't pay any of these guys because they weren't good enough to get an extension. So now the 20-something million or whatever, I don't even know. I keep on using Quentin Williams because I feel like he's perfect. He's the contract that if Miles Murphy would have hit, he represents the contract that you would have had to pay anyway. So you might as well just trade him and go get the guy that you know is an all-pro level talent, Pro Bowl level talent now, because it's the same thing. And to me, that's a rational take. And the second thing that goes hand in hand with that is F them picks. Even in the draft. If you get the draft day and you're unsure and the guy that you really, really wanted, because they lied to us, those guys are gone, then you need to go and just say F them picks and just go get a guy that's
go and get a guy. Yep.
I don't even trust them to move up. Take the pick, send it to a team that has a player that's playing currently like the player that you want, that you're ready to extend right now. Because they identified a Trey Hendrickson, they identified a DJ Reader, they identified a Cheeto Bay Awuzie, they identified that. They can do that. Yeah. So if they can identify that same guy, go find that guy on the 31 other teams and go and trade for that guy. Give the pick up, the 4th, the 5th round pick for that guy. And say, forget all of this, because we're now. So in my final point, I have to say, the reason why I'm saying that is because the guy that's saying, blow it all up, let's go for a rebuild. No. If you didn't have Joe Burrow and you didn't have Jamar Chase is not going for that. So you want to have an ugly situation on your hands? Go and talk that rebuild stuff with a Jamar Chase, the youngest Triple Crown winner of all time. He's not going for that, bro. I'm telling y'all that right now. T. Higgins did not sign up for that either. These guys that are in the prime of their career are not signing up for that. So the best solution is F them picks, send them to teams that have players like Ace identified Minkah Fitzpatrick. Send them to those guys, because you're in a dangerous spot, like a year away from having players be like, we went out. A lot of players, like, somebody really, really good. I'm not even going to speak it into existence, but that's how I'm thinking. So, Mr. Rebuild, we got to go get this and we got to go get this and blow the whole thing up. I just don't think that that's going to work for the prime of the careers of Joe Burrow's not thinking that. When he was on Radio Row talking about getting Gesicki, signing trade, he ain't thinking no rebuild. He's not going to like that. So, like, that's my only pushback. That's not going to work.
Mike Ruff, appreciate you again, bro. Which front office failure was worse? Bengals failing to resign Whitworth or Jesse Bates? I'm going to go Jesse Bates. Jesse Bates was young and in his prime. They spent so much at the position in terms of first-round picks and just draft picks in general and throwing money at the position with Geno Stone that, in my opinion, they should have just extended Bates at this point, because you know what you have there. We're still looking at a situation at safety where we don't know what the safety position is. We're still talking about trading for Minkah Fitzpatrick. So, to me, at this point, the wasted money, the wasted efforts, I mean, that was some money that you probably, like, you talk about the Sheldon Rankins, between Geno Stone, and between them, that first round pick that you spent out of safety with Dax Hill, you probably could have just paid Jesse Bates. The defense gave it up like someone paid them for standing on a corner. This is a game that gets people fired for real. What are your thoughts on that, Zone?
I feel like we coined the phrase. Like, are we going to trademark giving it up? Because I saw that on Twitter, like right after I see a whole bunch of people saying, "Man, they was giving it up." No, I don't know. The defense is so bad. The defense has 86 missed tackles through 7 weeks of football at an astronomical, crazy rate. Another part of my plan. Somebody asked me, "What can we do right now?" Anybody I don't care if you feel like they are washed or whatever. Any veteran linebacker, any veteran corner, any veteran safety should be at Paycor right now working out. Like, bro, they don't think that somebody like a Stephon Gilmore, like, these are low risk. This is low risk.
Yeah.
They don't think somebody like a Stephon Gilmore would be like, man, shoot, I'm going to have.
I don't understand it. Like, those guys, like you said, they should be for a workout, kick tires on them, something.
Bro, kick tires, start right there. Any linebacker that has a tackling resume that is efficient should be in the building right now, just on a low level. At 3-5, it's hard for me to say trade for it if I'm an organization. As a fan, it's very simple. I see Jeff Simmons as one of the super chats. Yes, the crazy thing about it is the amount of money I could pull up their draft picks. If they just paid 2 of their draft picks, like some of these high round dudes, like say Chris Jenkins, who isn't really panning out right now, the money that you would have paid him, you gotta be a little bit more like a futurist in the thought process. Just forget him, make him a death piece, take your L, go get Jeff Simmons, go get Quinnen. And like if they got 2 guys like that, it might sound crazy to them, but it's literally the money that you have cap space for. It's literally the money that you have to spend on a guy had Chris Jenkins and all them guys hit. Because if Chris Jenkins were to hit, Miles Murphy were to hit, then we'd be having uncomfortable conversations about other players. But they didn't. So the Bengals got a chance to weasel out of it, and they didn't have to pay it. Just go pay guys on that level. I'm not asking them to go pay Myles Garrett. Pay those guys that are at that 28 to 30 threshold that can give you 2 years and pay them a year or 2 guaranteed salary and say, I'm rolling with this. And whatever else we put around it, this is going to be the foundation of we're going to have Quinnen Williams next to Jeff Simmons and Trey Hendrickson on the edge and the development of Shamar Stewart and then if you did that, they just don't hedge their bets. They never hedge. I don't get it. Like they just be like, we're gonna all projects.
We gotta get through the rest of these super chats, bro. Hold on, we got a bunch. All I gotta say that Sunday was a disappointment, and you don't love the Bengals. That was from Cam. It's time to get Mama Higgins back on the show. You need it, I need it. We all need her truth. Let her truth be known. Shout out to Mama Higgins, fan of the show, Mama T.
Mama T would get on the show right now and cook the Bengals. I don't know if that now the timing is right. I saw one of her tweets said 2 targets. She would go in there. Now we gotta wait for Mama T to like get some. I don't want to be the guy that got Mama T like get the organization mad at her or something like that. I am not that guy. Hell no.
Yep, Sean 499 super chat. Appreciate that. Fire Zach, get a new staff. Browns need to open the team up like Green Bay. Let the city. I think he means the Bengals need to let the city have a voice. Shamar hasn't done anything after all that talk. Ben Riley.
Somebody hit me and said Shamar was right. I'm like, that boy is playing like a bum. What is he right about? Like he know how to put his pads on. Like I don't.
Most teams have 20 to 30 scouts to help draft pick. We have like 5. I don't know if they need 20 to 30, but they definitely need like from 5 to 10. They need to do some. Michael Rolfe, here it is. Geno was a lucky pick by Tobin. He didn't have the measurables in terms of size, but he had production in college like Aaron Donald. Newsflash, potential. T equal production, Jamar equal production. Another one here from Herman, Chris Jenkins, Jackson, McKinley Jackson, Zach Carter, CTV, and Josh Newton are bust. Herman said as well, we need our Joe Burrow.
Josh Newton a bust on you?
Defense. He hasn't looked good, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I would like how you was like Stephon Gilmore. Yeah, I would have a problem with him signing right tomorrow. Like, I don't know if I could trust Josh Newton as a starting cornerback. I think he's a good depth corner. I don't think he's a starter.
Him and Ivy, I mean, for where they were drafted and everything like that, I just don't look at him as anything other than that for real.
Yeah, for sure. I think Newton got talked about as a dark horse that could take over CB2. And we just saw, like, even when CTB, they kind of gave him the chance with making CTB the healthiest scratch, and he just didn't do anything. Jeffrey Simmons, like you talked about earlier, a pass rusher. Brucey says, how do we fix the defense in under a year? And do you think we can save money on a contract extension since no one on the defense is producing? What are your thoughts on that? I don't know if we can fix it in under a year, bro, unless they make major trades like we're talking about, and they may even have to trade away some of their some of their picks. Like you just saw the Ravens trade away Owe, but I would say trading them for another player, another
See,
pick.
I don't want picks. I don't want picks for them. I want players.
Yeah.
I want players. Like, to me, I would hit up like how you just saw the Roger McCreary trade or whatever. I would be making trades like that. And if we go to the draft, I mean, the Browns just came from the draft with like 4 picks. Man, like F them picks. Like F them picks, bro. If we go to 2026 draft with like 3 picks, but we added 2-3 sure enough players that are like fringe Pro Bowl level, like don't even gotta be pro level. Like that to me is a hit. Like, because you don't have time to play no more. Like all of that is over. Like all that, like, bro, Joe Burrow, I do believe his style of play, he could play till he's 40. Like his pocket presence, maybe him not running or whatever, right? But if he stayed injury free, I think he could. But the reality is his prime is really like now and maybe 2 more years, right? Of his prime of the Burrow that we know, right? Because he came into the league older. And with that being said, you know, the conversation is going to get real rugged for them. And we're going to have a situation. Because the same way that he was on Radio Row saying, bro, I want this guy, I want this guy, this guy, this guy. He going to be saying the same thing that I'm saying. I study how he talks to people and stuff. I've seen him in the flesh. I know his family. Shout out to, you know, Coach. Shout out to, you know, all the, like, even his brother Jamie. Like, shout out to you, bro. I know how he thinking. He thinking like low key, kind of like how I'm thinking right now. Y'all can't draft defense, and I gave y'all all this leeway. Go get me some defensive players now. I've seen enough. I'm telling you, like, he's going to be saying that soon, and I don't know where that conversation goes, but that's the fast fix for me. It's not this season. It's like this all season, or going to whatever. Like, move picks for players. Like, I think that in the NFL it's starting to happen a lot more. I would do it.
Weather says the D-line is really the only reason the DBs look so bad. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Maybe we just need to convert to Buddhism, and understand that suffering is enlightenment. Hashtag the Monkey King. And then Ben says, OMG, Palmer was low-key kind of right.
You know what's so nasty about this whole thing that's going on right now? The Eagles, Packers, a lot of these teams, even the Rams, like what they're paying their defense. Like, y'all know that the Bengals, the Rams, and the Eagles are in the same boat as far as like paying all the offense, but in the defense, they're the low. Like, the Eagles are the lowest paid defense in the NFL, but they're doing it through the draft. The problem is the Bengals can't draft, so it makes them look so stupid. It makes them look like they're trying to be something that they're not. Their plan is not even bad. Invest high-level picks on those on the defensive end, and then go, run with the guys you identify. You got T. Higgins, Joe Burrow, you had Mixon, all these guys like that. You cooking with fish grease right there. Just draft heavy defense, and it should work. They just can't do it. And the Eagles are doing what you said, is getting guys like from Georgia, right? That guys that have produced big colleges, no brainers, plug and play, ready to go. And that's the only difference. But it makes the Bengals look so stupid because they can't get that draft pick portion right. Free agency wise, you'll see even the Eagles were paying the kid that they benched, who was a healthy scratch, paying him $20 million, Michael Huff or whatever bro name is. They make mistakes in free agency. He does make mistakes. The Ravens do make mistakes in different things in free agency. They don't really do much in free agency, right? DeAndre Hopkins, whatever. But all of these things that we're naming, they draft well. And that's the only difference to me. Like, I don't think people would look at the Bengals like they're so low level front office. Tobin is so low level if they could just draft correctly. Because free agency wise, they cook with the T. Higgins contract. Everybody says he should have got $5 million more. Cry about it. He signed for the number that he signed at. Jamar, he could have got this. He didn't. And so they're cooking up good contracts. Yeah, the people that are player first, they might not like them, But from a business standpoint, those are good, favorable contracts that work in their favor. They're signed, extended, and the players seem happy, right? So, like that part, they're okay at, and people don't give them credit for it. But the defensive part, the trenches part, drafting wise, they are horrible, and it shows. And it shows.
David says don't mind trading for Reek Armstead or Josh Sweat. Last super chat here before we get up out of here. Season isn't over unless you hit 9 L's. Who they my guys will pack up the Bears and go on a run after the bye. 9 isn't 1-on-1. We're far from dead. And
Somebody
with that
talking that talk right there. Somebody talking that talk right there. Yeah.
And with that being said, we're gonna toss it to our friends over at Midwest Best Barbecue.
Now they call T. Higgins, or you say number 5s. Either way, you'll be winning. It's them hot honey lemon peppers. Now they call T. Higgins, or you say number 5s. Either way, you'll be winning. It's them hot honey lemon peppers. Now they call T. Higgins, or you say number 5s. Either way, you'll be winning. And much love to Mama T, Uno and CTB. MB's got Bengals wings, and now we just added T's. Cause 9 to 5 winning things. Gritty for Uno wings. We say yes, Sirski now. Like Aces and be saying that T got them new wings. Only at MB's. Hot honey lemon peppers. Now you can call them T's. Hot honey lemon peppers. Now they call T. Higgins. Or you say number 5s. Either way, you'll be winning. It's them hot honey lemon peppers. Now they call T. Higgins. Or you say number 5.
That was nice. I ain't gonna lie.
Shout out to Midwest Best Barbecue, 669 Justice Court in Loveland, Ohio. Make sure they get T. Higgins some more targets, just like you should get some more of their wings over there. Get some of those brisket fries. They got the Long Island iced teas over there with the lemonade, or the Arnold Palmer's with the lemonade and the iced tea. So I'm going to need an Arnold Palmer after that Bengals game, but make sure you tap in with Midwest Best Barbecue. Shout out to Tim and Nicole holding us down, and make sure that they hold you guys down on tomorrow's lunch hour. Don't forget as well that they're taking orders for the Thanksgiving turkeys that they do. So if you do want to do that, or you want to have Midwest Best Barbecue cater for one of your events, make sure that you reach out to them and get that scheduled tomorrow. So with that being said, bro, we have been on here for an hour. We have been venting and giving you guys our thoughts. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Appreciate the love and the
hold up. Ace, is the season over?
Is the season over? If they don't show up in this Bears game, yes. If they don't show up in this Bears game, yes, they cannot lose this Bears game. This is a must win. This is a must win for them based off of that brutal stretch that they have coming out after the bye. So they cannot afford to lose another one. I honestly would have felt better if that was one where they were 4-4 and we're talking about 5-4. Now it's you got to get to 4-5. So yeah, I think that we can't have too many more of these games, because we're talking about if they get to 9 wins, that means they have 8 losses. They already have 5. They can't afford to lose any of these games that. So yeah, this is a must win for me, bro.
The only thing I will say is that Steelers about to play the Colts. They're getting cooked. Ravens have an easy stretch coming up, but the back 4 games of them is tough. So, like, to me, it's not over, but they cannot afford to lose this game. That game that they just lost was so important. When we look back at this season, it's going to be everything. Just like how we looked at that Patriots one last year, I really look at that Chiefs 4th and 16 a little bit more than everybody else. To me, I was like, that's going to come back to come and get us. That game right there was the one. Because if we would have came out of there 4-4, I would have came on the show and said, bro, they're about to trade for somebody. Now, all of that is dead. All of that is dead, bro.
I'm tired of them waiting and then us regretting they got to start winning these games. It can't be the theme of the Bengals is we're just right outside of the playoff. Like, you got to get to week 15, which is what they're saying. Joe Burrow's on track to return by. you got to get to week 15 and be able to give Joe Burrow a team that actually has a chance of making the playoffs. Because it's not, if not, there's no reason for him rehabbing and coming back. There is no reason. So
None.
This next game is a must win in my eyes. They got to win because then you're talking about if you drop that, you're at 6 losses. So really, you can only afford 2 losses the rest of the way. Nah, bro. Nah, I need. We should have had this dub. I can't dwell over the past. It is what it is. We need this next one. They cannot have 6 losses and then expect to go on a run.
Yeah, the defense is too bad. It wouldn't be able to recover. It couldn't. I don't even feel like them coming out of a bye is like even helpful for them. Like I really don't. Don't you normally feel like that? And we're healthy for the most part. That's another thing that's like super underrated. Is like we're pretty healthy.
Well, I don't with Joe Flacco now with his situation.
His day to day.
And Trey Hendrickson.
Oh, I mean, if you don't got Joe Flacco, you're cooked. Like I'll be the first one to say that. If Flacco don't play in that Bears game,
we need Flacco in that game, bro.
I don't believe in Browning like to beat that Bears team at all. Like even though I'm not impressed and I can't wait to talk about the Bears, but from a matchup standpoint, you were right. I think a lot of people were right about Fields. You know, like in terms of his mobility. Caleb, I think, is going to make a lot of stupid decisions. And I do think that some guys in our secondary are smart enough or they can capitalize on it like we've done before. I'm not as worried about him, even though the Bears are a better team. I don't know. That performance in that game, they got to come back out like how they did, how they started that game. When we were up 10-0, the defense was moving. And they've been looking all right for a lot of these games. Like even that Packers game, even if you look at that Lions game, the defense wasn't that bad to me in that game. I know we lost. I think
this defense is trash, bro.
I told you that last week though. You were like, nah, like yeah. I was like,
nah, you were right. They're trash.
but there are games that I was like, if Burrow was there, I think we win, right? Like Lions and Packers is the 2. And
yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't know without that it's a must win. But let's close it at that because I wanted to do this one longer because one of our last 2 shows, people kept on saying, "Man, that was too short." But I think that this one was a little bit more therapeutic. And I think one thing that we did do was try to explore some answers. I think we have the foundation of what we're thinking, like moving forward. Is coming to the realization that you just suck at drafting. And the urgency meter is now all the way up. And it's crazy. We just went 1 hour and 12 minutes and we didn't even bring up Zach Taylor. I'm really looking at the players and the talent level and watching Lou cook up. That alone should be a fireable offense like right now. Like watching Lou cook up for the Colts is like how I talk trash about George Pickens cooking up for the Cowboys for a Steelers fan. And now the Steelers like, yeah, we need a wide receiver. So they signed MBS. Like watching Lou cook up what guys, a lot of them guys on the Colts defense, y'all don't even know. They're not household names. And yeah. Okay. That's all I got.
Yes, sir. So we will see you guys Wednesday. We'll preview the Bears game. And yeah, we will see you guys then. Until then, who they?
Ready?
On the Cincinnati podcast.
Hello, world. Cincinnati. You guys are the Yoshi creators, bro.
It's a new beginning. You know what that means, right?
But I know this, the whole NFL is